Hi guys, today we're going to react to Charlie by Tom MacDonald. This is a PayPal request from Aaron Brock, first time requester. Thank you, Aaron, for this request. We appreciate your support.
Thank you, Aaron, for this request. We appreciate the support.
Shot down and he was barely 31. Another woke coward took a life with a gun. He left behind a wife and a daughter and a son. All he did was try to speak for all of us. And I'm so tired of the hatred and the narratives. The patriots ain't dangerous, woke people are the terrorists. They shot and killed the father, sent a message to Americans. They ain't gonna stop until they bury us. Dear Charlie, I don't know if you can see us now, but if heaven has a window, I sure hope you're looking down. Cause we ain't going quiet, we gon' scream your name loud. And you're gone, but I swear to God that we gon' make you proud. We ain't backing off or giving up, I'll preach what you taught me. They may have killed a soldier, but that man had an army. This is far more deep than some political parties. And you can't kill freedom, so this one is for Charlie. This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good men try to keep making it great. Pray that God will take care of us, the system is failing us when good men die for the things that they say. And I can't just be quiet, so I gotta be brave, cause this is America. Lately it's scaring us, but one good man can change it all in a day.
This is our second time covering Tom MacDonald. Last time we did the one with Ben Shapiro, which was kind of cool. This is obviously a much more serious and dark issue following the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the murder of Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace. I have a feeling, I mean, going by the lyrics, it's probably not too difficult to tell that this is more Tom MacDonald's reaction to the way people have responded to this happening.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure because the song says, the lyrics say, yesterday Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
On the day he was assassinated, the reactions started coming out.
Yeah, he posted this song on September 11th. Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10th. Maybe by that point, it's 24 hours later, until he started writing the song, he got a whiff of how people responded. There were many very vile responses to Charlie Kirk's murder. I don't know if this song is targeted at that. I think it's just Tom MacDonald's way of mourning a person that he admired.
I guess I don't know anything about the relationship between Tom MacDonald and Charlie Kirk, if they were friends or not, or if he's just a fan. But either way, when I heard it came out, I heard some people saying things like, oh, he's cashing in on it and things like that, which is why I really liked reading that line at the beginning that said that all proceeds from the songs are going to be donated. So he's obviously not doing it for the money. I mean, the fact that he did it so quickly is probably because, one, it was burning inside him to kind of let it out, and two, it was fresh, so it was still topical. It's probably similar to us bumping this episode up once the request came in, because you don't want to release something too long after it's fresh in people's minds, I guess. From what I know Tom MacDonald, I like Tom MacDonald because I don't really know a lot about him. I know about his sort of independent company and the way he's done things with music, and I have immense respect for him for that. And I know that his opinions are right-leaning and conservative and all the rest of it, some of which I share, some I don't. But again, it doesn't matter. Similarly, I guess, to Charlie Kirk. Some of the things that Charlie Kirk preached I agree with, and some I don't. But as opposed to what came out in the reactions to his death, that some people just were celebrating it. I thought that was disgusting because I think that there is a tendency amongst people with a certain ideology on the other side to kind of demonize. They've been, I think, way exaggerating what he was about and things like that. I've watched a lot of his videos. I've seen his show. I don't think that he was everything that people say he was. My disagreements with him were because I'm not as conservative as him, and he was very much about religion, which I am not. So we had a lot in common when it came to logic and to a way of potentially fixing things and intelligence and such, and that these matters should be debated and talked about amongst people. But we didn't agree on everything, and that was fine. But when somebody gets assassinated for having opinions, then we know we're headed down
Yeah.
a dark path.
I think the theme repeats itself. The person whose opinions do not align with your own is not only wrong, but he's also the devil. That's the demonization process. I've seen actually many reactions to people saying what he said as an excuse of why it's a good thing that he was assassinated. When you realize what he said, you realize that people were cherry picking parts of his speeches, taken completely out of context, and doesn't matter if it's rooted in truth or not, it just goes viral. And if you are aware of the full context of what he said, you realize that things that have been said about Charlie Kirk, like he was a homophobe or other vile things that have been said about him, it's not true. If you've seen him speak, you know it's not true, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think he was maybe in a way against, say, homosexuality. But again, that comes from him being very sort of religious, very conservative. I don't think that there was hatred behind it. And I don't think that makes him a homophobe as such. Just a very ugly thing in a currently very, very ugly world. That's kind of why I like Tom MacDonald doing this, because whatever his reasons are, he's shining a light on this. And he's doing it in a non-aggressive way. It's non-violent. Even though his words here are very sort of anti-woke, which Charlie was, which in a lot of ways I am as well, it's still more about Charlie than it is about,
Yeah.
you know, spouting hate or anything like that.
Yeah, I think I said at the beginning, the entire setup, it feels like an impromptu song that he wrote. It's factual. He published it within 24 hours since the assassination. He's more mourning than he is angry. I think everybody who loved Charlie are just processing it. This is his way to let something out as part of his own personal process.
Yeah, there's sadness and shock in there.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, that's exactly how I reacted when I heard about it. I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I can't exactly say that I was a fan or not a fan. I didn't hate what he did. I enjoyed watching a lot of his videos because, again, he was discussing these things with people. Whether I thought that these debates were won by him or kind of lost or not exactly gone either way or whatever, I still found them interesting. He made a lot of interesting points. He had a lot of interesting theories. And after you watch someone for a while, you kind of get used to their face, you get used to their voice, you get used to what trying to kind of put together what you think they might be about, and then all of a sudden you see that they were murdered and the way that it happened. I was in shock definitely, and I was sad to hear that it happened, and also somewhat worried about where this might lead us going forward.
Yeah, there's a concern for that. What shocked me about his murder was I've been following for quite a few years, haven't been delving way deep into his speeches, but every time I saw him speak, you immediately understand his method. He pulls up a chair and he'll speak to anyone. He'll speak to people who completely oppose his opinions. He'll speak to hateful people. He'll speak to anyone who was willing to talk. That was his crime, speaking. And to have people elated at his death is kind of strange. He's your countryman. You're happy that he died. I think that's the biggest shock for me. It's not the first political murder that they had there, but the reaction is more of a shock to me.
Which is interesting because Charlie wasn't a politician.
People who disliked him to the extreme that were rejoicing at his murder, they couldn't debate him or they didn't want to bother with discussing his points, so they're just happy he's gone. That's more sad than anything else.
Well, there was an interesting thing in a lot of his debates that the people opposing him usually said as a criticism that he never changes his opinion, which he kind of disagreed with. He said he has on smaller things, but on the overall, maybe not. The funny thing is they never changed theirs either. My interest in the whole thing was always watching him listen, because he didn't just speak. He let other people have their time, say their piece, say what they mean. A lot of the times they were rude and mean and said some nasty things to him. Even if it hit, he didn't let it affect him. He kept going. Let them speak because he basically stood for their right to say their opinion. That's kind of one of the reasons that this stings a lot.
Yeah, in a sense, because the way he acted, because the way his entire belief system was rooted on free speech, you realize that there are sinister people there, that's what they want to kill. They want to kill free speech. Murdering Charlie Kirk was an attack on free speech, and people are rejoicing at it.
Yep, and before we listen to the second half, I just want to say about Tom MacDonald, because we're really here to react to his song. It's a tough one because the song is not very complex, not musically or lyrically. The lyrics are interesting. I mean, he's saying exactly what he thinks. There are some interesting lines in here, but they are all on the surface. There's no subtext here. He's saying what he wants to convey, and he does it, I think, very effectively. There's something kind of like, I don't know if to say catchy, but kind of like a nice rhythm to the song, but it's not flashy. He made it all stripped down. Even the video, there's no video. He's just sitting there and he's like saying what he came to say. So I don't think this is about musicality and complex lyrics or anything like that. that about a cool music video. This is about a message, and he's here to convey it, and he's doing that extremely well, I think.
Yeah. I think the song itself, what he needed to let out, hasn't had enough time, since it was just a day after the assassination, hasn't had enough time to marinate in his artistic imaginarium, to be able to take something out of it that teases the mind. So I don't think ambiguity was his goal here. You're correct. He just wanted to put it out as clearly as possible.
Yeah, I think this is about getting people to hear this, and it's also cathartic for him.
Yeah, therapeutic, possibly. I don't think at this point people even started to heal, but
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Killed in cold blood for having a discussion, and liberals are celebrating murder like it's justice. You didn't kill a villain or the evil that it comes with. You killed a father and a husband. And I'm so tired of the left and all the wokery. We can't get along if you just kill us when we don't agree. Sniper rifle fire from a liberal that no one sees. Scared I might be next to die when I'm just buying groceries. Charlie, we'll make sure your children know that defending all our freedom is why you aren't coming home. I hope heaven has a window you can watch your children grow and hear your message echo from below. And we ain't backing off or giving up, I'll preach what you taught me. They may have killed a soldier, but that man had an army. This is far more deep than some political parties. And you can't kill freedom, so this one is for Charlie. This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good men try to keep making it great. Pray that God will take care of us, the system is failing us when good men die for the things that they say. And I can't just be quiet, so I gotta be brave, cause this is America. Lately it's scaring us, but one good man can change it all in a day.
I think what I like about Charlie Kirk's legacy is that the fact that you can't kill an idea. That's what his haters thought they were doing. By celebrating his death, they thought they killed the idea. The exact opposite will ensue.
Yeah, it's something that I've been saying for a long, long time about people, that people are a lot more stupid today than they were in the past. And I think that's part of it. I think thinking that you're going to assassinate someone for an opinion, first of all, just for that action within itself, it's evil, but it's stupid. And the fact that people celebrated it and even said that the assassin was right to do that, that's stupid. It just makes no sense. And the feeling that I had about this song sort of came in that verse right after the chorus. Killed in cold blood for having a discussion, and liberals are celebrating murder like it's justice. You didn't kill a villain or the evil that it comes with. You killed a father and a husband, and I'm tired of the left and all the wokery. We can't get along if you just kill us when we don't agree. It's pretty poignant. It's spot on as to what is happening around the world right now. There are very few people on the left that can and are willing to have a discussion, and that's what hurts at the moment. I used to always see myself as center, leaning left. Today, I just see myself as center. I'm not leaning either way, but I find myself more in agreement with the right than I do with the left because of this behavior. Yeah. Because I can actually have a discussion with people from the right and hear their opinions, and they will hear mine. With the left, you can't do it anymore. I only try, and all I get is just a lot of name calling and screaming, and I just basically say there's no point in having a discussion.
You could even see it in the street. We're recording this quite a few days after the assassination. Charlie Kirk's murder led to numerous vigils held in his honor. That was the extent. No riots. Nobody got hurt. People tried to disrupt some of those vigils. They tried to protest like it deserved it or something, but nothing violent happened. Say in 2020, when George Floyd was killed, you had mayhem displayed as peaceful protests, and damages, and people got hurt, and I think some people even got killed over that. That's something to notice.
And yeah, I think I posted this on social media, and other people have as well. But yeah, I think if people think that it was right to kill a person for speaking their mind and their opinion, then whoever says that are a part of the problem. And I stand by it. I don't think that anyone who in any way justifies what happened is in the right or can be in the right. And that's kind of where I'll stop talking about it for the moment. But as far as Tom MacDonald, excellent song. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the message. It felt a little bit more like a eulogy in a way. And as far as Tom MacDonald goes, mad respect. I really like what the guy did here. And so far, second song, and I like what he does. I haven't heard a lot, and probably curious to hear more, let's say. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It was just an awful thing, and I wish it never happened, but it did, and it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. I hope that the people who loved him can heal from this, and to the people who dislike him, who even went as far as celebrating his assassination, I hope you can one day realize just how wrong it is to celebrate a death of an innocent man. I think what I like about Tom MacDonald, regardless of the subject matter, the things he talks about in his songs, that's his vocation. This is who he is, not just what he does. But I think the thing I like about about him the most is that he's independent. He's detached from the mainstream music industry, and he successfully competes with the mainstream music industry. There's a massive sense of hope in that for artists all around the world.
I think that he sees it as maybe some sort of a calling. I mean, I've only heard like 2 or 3 songs of his, and it seems that he's doing what other people like podcasters or influencers are doing with podcasts and shows and whatever else. He's doing it with music. He's trying to get his views across and speak to like-minded people, and perhaps to people who are not like-minded, and get a conversation going.
Yeah, build bridges.
So yeah. I can't say that this was a cool song or a fun song. I think it was a sad and dark song, but at the same time, somewhat uplifting in a way that maybe there will be some hope. I don't know if there is any hope right now, but there will be some in the future, maybe. That's the kind of feeling I get from this song.
Yeah, the sad part is it's a precursor to see the state of humans in the world today. When you see the reactions to his assassination, it's a sad testimony to the state of mankind right now. That's what bothers me the most about it.
I agree. All the people who kind of celebrated and kind of reveled in the man's death revealed more about themselves than about anyone else. And I hope that people see that. I've noticed on social media a lot of people also agreeing. Even just say, oh, I don't want to be told to mourn Charlie Kirk. It's like, okay, you're not told to mourn. You don't have to mourn, but you didn't have to put that up on social media either to try and carry more people behind you. Oh yeah, he was this or he was that. Just be quiet, stay out of it. You don't have to say anything. If you are not saddened by a human being's death, but the fact that they have to say something, that's the problem as well. They are part of the problem.
Yeah, if an innocent man's death is a good thing to you, then there's something wrong with the way you see the world.
Absolutely. Not a happy episode for us. This is not one that I wanted to tackle, but we kind of got there anyway. So I will still say thank you to Aaron Brock for this request and for the support. First time requested, but yeah, we appreciate the request. And even though this wasn't a happy one, I still kind of appreciate that we got to listen to this song and react to it and respond, I guess. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Aaron, for this request and for your support. Much appreciated. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you'll get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make a request through BuyMeACoffee. The link is at the top of the description below. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
If you'd like to check out our previous Tom MacDonald reaction, should be up on the screen sometime about now. Give it a click, check it out. You might enjoy it. I know we did. Thank you so much for all the support you're throwing our way. We appreciate you so much. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode, and we hope to see you all then. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.